I'm Keiynan Lonsdale. I play Tommy Boatwright in The Normal Heart. Today I'm chatting with Jimmy Chen from Eipper. He's going to take us through some amazing insight into HIV treatment today and the experience of people living with it and his perspective on our play, The Normal Heart. I'm Keiynan. Lovely to meet you, Jimmy.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. What progress are you most grateful for, and what progress do you think that we've yet to make?
The biggest difference I notice is from the treatment and also prevention strategy. You can take daily pill, or you can choose to do injectable treatments as well. Find the most suitable way for people living with HIV to pick their treatments. I think there's an improvement regarding the stigma, but however, it does feel like we're still facing the same thing.
Which I think may still come down to lack of awareness and how to navigate it as a culture. How is it affecting people of diverse background and also our traditional landowners?
Newly diagnosed have more cases in terms of to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and also people born from overseas, such as they visiting Australia temporarily by working holiday visa and also student visa.
Why do you think plays and stories like The Normal Heart still matter in a time like 2026?
It's a way to know what happened back in HIV and AIDS epidemic, and a way to appreciate how lucky I am these days as well.
I mean, I think that's why art is a really powerful way of communicating education and awareness to the public.